Life happens to me as much as it happens to everyone. But here's my secret: despite life happening, I've learned to keep my joy. If you struggle to keep your joy, do me a favor. Why are you so happy all the time? Why are you so positive? Does anything ever get you down or piss you off? People ask me these questions all the time, and if they really want the answer, I tell them what I'm about to tell you. Life happens to me as much as it happens to everyone. But here's my secret: despite life happening, I've learned to keep my joy. If you struggle to keep your joy, do me a favor. Give me your undivided attention just for a couple minutes because I want to talk to you about how to get and keep your joy. And I promise after this Creel talk, joy is not going to be something you struggle with having in your everyday life. You see, joy is essential to living a fulfilled life. It's when you have this like deep sense of ongoing happiness and contentment. It's one of those emotions that fuel resilience and strengthen relationships and makes us remember what matters most. Without it, life carries this dullness to it. Sometimes it's not even over the top, dramatic, or tragic. It's just bland. Some would even describe a joyless life like living in a house where all the lights work, but they aren't being turned on. During the day, not noticeable, but at night, it's dark and lonely. I actually had a friend that this was their experience. They for a long time lived this life without joy. It just seemed like everything would get them down. Everything would irritate them. Everything would keep them from being happy. And in watching this friend, I started to realize it's not that complicated. There's five main reasons why people lack joy or can't keep their joy. Here's the first one: it's the need for control. A lot of times, it's us trying to control other people. What happens is we appoint people in our lives and have now this expectation from that appointing, but oftentimes people don't rise to that expectation and they disappoint us. Well, when our joy is tied to those other people or even things like everyday life or just plans or goals or just happenings going the way we want, that makes it very difficult to keep our joy. That's the first thing. Here's the second thing that I've noticed steals joy: it's negative thoughts. Our joy gets lost in the abyss of thinking about past pains or future fears, current disappointments. We're just drowning in this sea of negative thinking, which then blocks our ability to feel happy or feel joy because you become what you think about. And if you're constantly thinking about these negative things, well, joy is a positive feeling. So, how can you have a positive feeling with a negative thought? Here's the third thing: it's our external desires, especially the ones that are beyond necessities. We tie our joy to worldly possessions or concepts, to status, to titles, to wealth, to all of these things. That's our joy is tied to just these desires, and even if we get them, they're not enough. That's what I've learned about a lot of external desires. That's because the feeling isn't joy that we experience when we get those things. Those things are superficial. We actually feel the cheap imitation of joy, which is just pleasure. It's a momentary thing that's never as good as joy, and it disappears just like that. It's fleeting. Well, the fourth reason that a lot of people struggle to get or keep their joy is because I'm just going to lay it out like it is, family. It's cuz they're mentally and emotionally weak. Their joy is just tied to things going good and them being at peace. And when things aren't going good or they're not at peace, they get hit in the mouth by the many challenges of life, they crumble, right? Like a terribly baked cookie, they fold. Like a cheap tent. They just aren't well equipped to deal with the perils of life. So when life hits, they just, woe is me. You probably know some of these people. Here's the fifth reason, and probably what I would say is one of the most powerful, it's selfishness. Our joy is just tied to personal gain or gratification. It's if I'm good, if I'm taken care of, if it's the me factor. It's about me. It's about me. It's about me. And because of that, you are the center of the world. And when you aren't in the center, then you aren't happy. You see, the need for control, negative thoughts, excessive external desires, mental and emotional weakness, and selfishness are the things that I've witnessed drain people of the joy in their life. That's what drained my friend. I watched it for years, just could not find his happiness. Hey, when you heard those five joy drainers, odds are they didn't just relate to you. You thought of people who are struggling with one or more of those joy suckers as well. Share the link to this Creel Talk with them. We need to help them get and keep their joy too. Now, let's talk about how we do that. Well, knowing that, here's what we do to combat it. Number one is important. Stop appointing people and be patient enough to allow them to appoint themselves. Give up trying to control everything and everybody. You can't. I'm going to say that again. This is a universal principle, kind of like gravity. Remember we talked about that? It always works even if you don't believe in it. Well, this is a universal principle. You cannot control other things or other people. There's only one thing you can control, and that is you, your actions, and your attitude. That's it. So give up that control. You cannot control it. That's why you just have to develop some patience with other people and patience with life, patience with yourself, and control through that patience. Now we can have a little more control of our actions and our attitude. That's the first thing. Here's the second thing we need to do is we need to slow down and just appreciate the little things for a second. Just live in the moment. Make it a regular occurrence to just, when you wake up, think about all of life that you have to live and have some appreciation for the fact that although you can't control it, your eyes can see. Your lungs allow breath throughout your body. You don't control those things. You have a sound mind. If you're listening to this conversation, you have coherent thought. You live a great life. Slow down and appreciate it. Let's have a little mindfulness for life. Here's the third thing. Develop some discipline over your desires. I mean, come on, seriously. Think about the fact that, man, you have more than you need to survive and live well, to have a great life. Slow down and think about that. Tie it to some of the mindfulness. And now, when you want more than you need, understand, I think wanting it is great. The pursuit is amazing and really where the fulfillment is, but the attainment, right? And tying it then to the fact that, man, if I don't get it, I'm not happy. Stop that. Have some temperance. Temper your desires. Still have them. I think desires are good as long as they don't harm other people, but have some temperance over them. It's like, let's work hard to get them, but let's not have so much disappointment if they haven't arrived just yet. The fourth thing is we need to practice a little resilience. Life is going to happen. Do you know that? Do you know that? You know, life is going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. One of my most favorite lines I heard in a song is, here's what's guaranteed: taxes, death, and trouble. Tell me what song that's from. We'll become best friends instantly. Well, those things are guaranteed. That's life. And therefore, if we know they're guaranteed, then just change your mindset a little bit and be ready to deal with it. As a matter of fact, here's what the winners do. We deal with it head on. We develop a little courage. You see, courage isn't the absence of fear, it's still the taking of the action anyways. Although the fear might exist, although the hesitation might be there, although we may not want to deal with the thing, when we have some courage, we know we still got to deal with it head on so that we can now have some resilience for life and we can deal with our trials and our tribulations, which are gonna come anyways. You can't avoid them. Here's the last thing. And this, my friends, might be for you the most important thing because it'll help you have all of the rest is get on and stay on a never ending journey for personal development and knowledge. Keep learning. Keep learning. Stay curious for life and how life works, how things work. Study people, study nature, study the world, study different ways of life, study different belief systems. Develop a deep seated understanding of this thing we all have called life. And what I promise you will happen is you'll realize that the real purpose of living is giving, that it's not about you. As a matter of fact, what makes you feel the best selfishly is to be selfless. But you really only develop a true understanding of that if you're constantly seeking wisdom. In summary, to live a joyous life, just focus on adopting these 5 mindsets: patience, mindfulness, temperance, courage, and wisdom. And then turn these mindsets, these belief systems into virtues. Remember that friend I told you about? I actually hung out with him the other day. It was the first time in a long time just because I purposely do not surround myself with negative energy. Negativity is the most, I would say, contagious thing in this world, right? It's way worse than any virus. My goodness, you even get around it or let it get on you, man. You're gonna need a lot of hot showers and a lot of medicine, a lot of purified thinking to get it out of you. So no offense to my friend, but I got around him for the first time in a long time, and my goodness, was it a 180-degree change. What I think happened for him is he didn't just learn or adopt these mindsets. I believe he turned them into virtues. At its core, a virtue, it's a habit of choosing what is good even when it's difficult. You see, I just had this conversation with you, and you probably actually know that having some patience, being mindful, having some temperance, acting with courage, seeking knowledge to be wise, you know these things are good. They're the right thing to do. So maybe you do have them as a mindset or a belief system. But you see, when they become a virtue, they become so deep rooted that every day you wake up and you choose to live by them. Even on the days where living by them is difficult. When it's difficult to be patient, you're patient anyways. When it's difficult to be mindful, you take in the moment anyways. When it's difficult to temper our desires, you still take a breath and chill. When it's hard to be courageous in a very fear-filled moment, you stand up and you stand strong anyway. When there's so much happening, you just don't know if you have the time to learn or to develop. You still learn and you still develop anyways. That's what it means to live virtuously. It's to do what's good even when it's hard. And these specific 5 virtues, here's what I will tell you: if you choose to adopt them and live by them every single day, not only will you have joy in your life every single day, you will start helping put joy in other people's lives every single day. Believe.